Aloha, my name is Holland and I'm a dietetics student at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite vegetarian meals, red Thai curry with vegetables. This is an excellent weeknight meal because it only takes 30 minutes to prepare. Thai curry is different from Japanese or Indian curries because its main ingredient is coconut milk and it doesn't use any curry powder. Thai curry is defined by its use of complex yet balanced flavors hitting on sweet, sour, salty, and bitter. Before I start cooking, I'm going to wash my hands, grab a clean cutting board and knife, and I'll meet you back here in just a second. For this recipe, you will need the following: 2 tablespoons of canola oil, 3 garlic cloves minced, 1 small peeled and minced piece of ginger, 2 to 3 tablespoons of red curry paste, 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1.5 tablespoons of fish sauce, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, and 14 ounces of coconut milk. I use the carton found in the milk section of the grocery store because it contains half the fat of the canned version. For the vegetables, I will be using 1 small onion, 1 small eggplant, 1 red bell pepper, a small head of broccoli, a small bunch of fresh baby spinach, and several Thai basil leaves. First, you want to start cooking your rice according to package instructions, and since I already have my rice started here, I'm going to go ahead and prep the rest of our ingredients. Since I have a large onion, I'm only going to use half of it, so I'm going to cut this into small dice, and that will cook quickly in our stir-fry process. Next, I'm going to cut our eggplant into small pieces. I have here a Japanese eggplant, but if you can't find this in your local grocery store, you can also use 1/2 of an Italian eggplant. So I'm just going to chop off the end. And I'm going to try to cut this in half. And then just make little half coins out of it. Next, I'm going to prepare a red bell pepper. I'm going to cut this into thin, even strips will ensure a even cooking time. For our next ingredient, we're going to use fresh broccoli. I'm only going to use half of this. So I'm just going to cut it straight down in the middle like that. And you can cut the florets like this. And now that we're ready to start cooking our dish, I'm going to go ahead and start heating up the oil. This is the 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And we're going to wait for just a second while it gets a little hot, and then I'm going to add our onions. Now the onions we want to let cook for at least 2 to 3 minutes just so they get a little brown and translucent. That'll help bring out some of the flavors in our dish. Now that our onions have cooked for a few minutes, I'm going to add the garlic and ginger. And you want to make sure that you don't cook this too long, otherwise it will burn and produce bitter flavors in your dish. So I just chopped up the fresh ginger here. So you would just peel the skin off the exterior and then mince it like you would garlic. So I'm going to let this saute for another 2 minutes or so, keeping an eye on it and constantly stirring. Okay, now that the garlic and ginger has had time to cook, I'm going to add the rest of our vegetables. So I'm going to put in the broccoli, our red bell pepper, and our eggplants. So just stir this up and let it saute for about 5 minutes. And then this will help give it some nice texture on the outside. And then after this, we'll add in our curry paste and then our coconut milk. Okay, now that our vegetables have had time to cook, I'm going to start by adding the red curry paste. And I'm using the My Ploy brand of red curry paste that is probably found in your grocery store. If not, you can always look online. All right, mix that in, and then I'm going to put in our soy sauce and the turmeric powder. The turmeric powder helps give it a little bit of color as well as add to the nutritional value of the dish. Okay, now that our vegetables have had a few minutes to cook, I'm going to go ahead and add in the rest of our ingredients. So I have our spinach, and then I have our Thai basil leaves and the fish sauce. So I'm going to stir these well to incorporate, and then I'm going to keep the heat over low and cover this for another, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. Okay, now that it's had time to cook, I'm going to take off the lid. Oh my gosh, that smells great. All right, so I'm going to make our dish, and I'm going to put a scoop of rice at the bottom of the bowl. And put in some of the curry with the sauce. Now, if you like your curry thicker, you can also have a slurry mixture, which is cornstarch and water. So I'd say about a tablespoon of cornstarch and maybe an 1/8 cup of water. Mix that well before putting it into your curry. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoy making this for your family and friends. Aloha.